Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from the basement bunker beneath Keller Radio. It's the Fourth Hour, and I got to apologize. Longtime listeners remember my call screener, Liz. And Liz is in the building this morning. She lives down in Florida now, and she happened to be coming back to Sioux Falls. And she said, you know, would you mind if I drop by? And I'm like, yes, please. Drop by. She's doing incredibly well. Longtime listeners remember Liz, and she was the producer of the show and was absolutely terrific. And you know, I totally understood, you know, why she left and why she moved. There were a number of different reasons. She and I talked about it, and she is doing phenomenally well. And she is working with the Salem Media Group. Salem is a name that for broadcasters, I think, and for a lot of folks, they will recognize. She's just doing remarkably well. And that is hardly a surprise to me because she was absolutely terrific. So she and I it was just so good to see her. So you know how it is. You haven't seen somebody in a while and you get all wrapped up, and you know, I looked at the time and I said, oh, you have to forgive me. I have got to run downstairs. I've got the Fourth Hour. It's my video show that it's coming up at 9:30, and it's just so good to see you. So anyway, she wanted me to extend her greetings to all of you who remember her, and she's just incredible. And now she's working with a show down in Florida, a morning show, and doing, you know, it's going phenomenally well. They're pulling her in and doing more and more things. Hardly a surprise to me, because it was always obvious to me that she was capable of a lot more than I was tasking her with. And, you know, it's fun watching folks succeed. You know, when you see those things in people and you go, they're capable of a lot more than we're asking, right? You know, they're capable of a lot more. And Liz was has been one of those people. And so to see her kind of coming into her, you know, into her own and finding her way. And she shared some stories with me that were just funny, really. I want to thank her, and I want to thank you for allowing me a few moments. That's why I'm running a little bit behind. I've got some news for you, not a lot of stuff, but this really is the big story of the day. Let's go to the White House Wire. And this is one of the big stories they have today. On the heels of the brand new deal with the United Kingdom, the president has reached an agreement with China to reduce China's tariffs and eliminate retaliation. We will retain a U.S. baseline tariff on China, as they will retain a baseline tariff on the United States. And so the United States issued the first joint statement on trade in many years with China. This is following the negotiations over the weekend in Switzerland. And so both parties now affirming the importance of a critical bilateral economic and trade relationship. This is good news. And we're seeing the impact already on Wall Street. More on that in a moment. China going to remove the retaliatory tariffs that they announced in April. They will also suspend or remove other measures that were taken against the United States since April. They will also suspend their initial 34% tariff that they had announced, the United States removing additional tariffs imposed on China. So all of this now is going by the wayside. And the administration saying that they're working toward a rebalancing. And they're also addressing the fentanyl crisis. It's been a big part of this. The president's made that, I think, very, very clear that that was among his priorities. Let's go to the New York Post because this is the big story this morning. Breakthrough. Stock market spike as the U.S. and China agree to slash tariffs temporarily after the trade talks. So they're slashing the tariffs temporary now, 90 days. What will it lead to? Hopefully it's going to lead to more substance. And it's having an incredible impact on the stock markets. So, I think many of us have been patient. And it's like, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Let's not overreact. The markets are going to overreact because the markets always overreact. But as far as whether or not America is going to benefit in the long run, I think a lot of us have said, that we're willing to wait, that we want to see the United States in a better position, not for ourselves, but for our families, for our children, for our grandchildren. And I think, we talked about this at length on the radio show. That's why so many of us have been willing to wait. The other big news this morning, let's click on this. The president signing an executive order this morning that will cut drug prices 30 to 80%. He's promising to bring fairness to America, he said as he announced this on True Social last night. So he's instituting a most favored nations policy whereby the United States will pay the same price as the nation that pays the lowest price anywhere in the world. And what the president's saying here is that Americans, when it comes to prescription drug prices, have been ripped off for far too long. Americans have been paying all of the research costs of these drug companies, that these drug companies have saddled Americans with that cost but not other countries. And the president is saying, enough. No more of that. And what I find so amazing is here's Trump with his wealth, which is just mind blowing. I mean, you and I cannot imagine what it might be. At least I can't imagine what it might be like to have that kind of wealth. And here's the president out there. He's worried what I'm paying for prescription drugs. He's worried about the costs that you're paying for prescription drugs. That to me is just absolutely amazing. And the impact of that and what it's going to have on families and individuals remains to be seen. But again, I think with so much of this with Donald Trump, it's like, you've got to be patient. Just wait. These things take time. I've said it time and time and time again that this country didn't get into this mess overnight. It happened over a period of years and decades. I believe that we have been going down that path, and to believe that you can correct that you can fix that overnight. So what's amazing to me is this business with China already. We're already now seeing positive results from this, that China is willing to talk, just as the president said they would be. So there are a lot of people, I think, that are being proven wrong who said, this is going to destroy American consumers. It's going to be American consumers who wind up paying the cost of all of this stuff. And we'll see as to whether these are the same people that did not believe that they thought China was in the driver's seat. If that's the case, why is China now willing to make a deal? If China's in the driver's seat, as so many have claimed, why is it China already coming to, taking these steps toward making a deal with the United States? That just doesn't jive with, I think, what so many have been saying. And it's just more good news. So that really is all I got for you this morning. We are going to leave it there. So that's a wrap from the bunker. You have made it to the end of the video. So you are part of my gallery of champions. And a special thank you and salute to the Bunker Brigade. Those of you who are here each day, really appreciate all of you. Bring a friend, and I'll be even more grateful. So until next time, my friend, I'm underground and gone.